Hello, I'm Paulo Leite, record collector. Today I'm in beautiful Budapest, and this is Wave Music. I love buying music, and everywhere I go, I visit record shops. Let's go inside. At first glance, Wave Music may not look big. However, they have good stuff. To the left, new vinyl and CDs. To the right, used vinyl and new jazz CDs. At the center, more new vinyl. Most vinyl is organized by genre and alphabetical order. CDs are mostly organized by genre. Let's start by the center aisle. New R&B, hip-hop and soul vinyl. Here you'll find some of the best newest releases. Along with some classics. On the hard rock section, we'll find more classic albums. Deep Purple in Rock from 1970. I love this one. Different from their previous albums. From this one on, they went a lot heavier. By the way, their used CDs are located in drawers underneath the new vinyl. We'll look at them in a minute. But now let's look at their vinyl soundtrack, where I wasn't expecting to find this soundtrack by Jerry Goldsmith from The Omen. I also love the Chernobyl soundtrack. It's brilliant. Their new jazz vinyl contains some amazing titles. One of my all-time favorites, Undercurrent by Bill Evans and Jim Hall from 1962. Get this album. You will thank me later. The two masters would work together again on one more album titled Intermodulation from 1966. Equally great. Get both. Promises. This is a beautiful album and a farewell to Pharoah Sanders, who died a year later. Moving to popular music. Big Science by Laurie Anderson. I love this one. Oh, Haus der Lüge. I haven't heard this one in years. On the other side of the shop, we'll find used popular music vinyl. Starting with rock, they have some very surprising titles. Starting with this Tradi Vaberl from 1986. Here's a band that needs some rediscovering. Hell Comes to Your House. I remember seeing this one at record shops some 40 years ago. What a find. Visiting record shops, I cannot stop thinking about how loved and treasured many of these albums have been. There are Beatles curiosities here, like this compilation from Romania, and a Revolver edition pressed in India. I'm sure Beatles completists will love these titles. I've seen in Budapest a fair number of classic titles pressed in India, like this Bowie. One of the great things about wave music is that they identify the country of origin of each used vinyl, which is very helpful. Here's a Michael Jackson, also from India. Now, the soul section holds a few surprises. How about a Stevie Wonder in Russian? This is something you don't see every day. Ain't that amazing? I love this version of Soul Makossa by Olatunji from 1973. Beautifully produced. The Main Ingredient, Bittersweet, also from 1973. Oh my god, Van McCoy, I love this album. This is the last album I thought I would ever find in Hungary. What a great find. Now, I am not a specialist in Hungarian jazz, but I know a couple of albums. Sirius, Devil's Masquerade from 1971, their first album. Beautiful album. Alligator. This is another incredible album, 1988. Hobo Blues Band, American blues sung in Hungarian. Oh, I'm game. There is so much to rediscover here. Now, Wave Music has a lot of Omega, Hungary's biggest rock band. They were pretty prolific. And the good thing is that not only they have the vinyl records, they also have an extensive number of CD reissues. Now let's talk Hungarian contemporary jazz. Wave Music has a significant amount of CDs from BMC, probably the leading label of contemporary Hungarian jazz. I don't know a lot, but there are a few that I know and like. Some titles here are really good, and I'm taking this one. On international jazz, Faroa from 1977. Wave Music has a small section of used CDs. Oh, Headhunters by Herbie Hancock. I'm taking this one. There are more good titles here, but I already have them. Now, it's important to say that in any record shop, there are new arrivals every day, so now, located above the new vinyl, you find new CDs. Here they keep indie rock, electro, pop, collections and boxed sets. I haven't heard half of the stuff here, but some of these titles look very interesting. Now back to vinyl. I wanted to check their Hungarian punk, and I wasn't disappointed. It is worth mentioning that underneath those counters, there are more vinyl records. It's usually cheaper stuff, but still you can find something you may like. Now, at the back of the shop, there is a section dedicated to punk and hardcore CDs. They have a healthy mixture of good but lesser known albums, and mainstream stuff. They also have cassettes, different genres, used and new. Well, if you own a Nakamichi, these are for you. Closer to the counter, we are going to find new releases and some reissues. Here is something I found fascinating: Ultravox's 1982 album Quartet. This version containing a second record with the instrumental version of the entire album. That's awesome. And Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Brain Salad Surgery with its beautiful cover. On the used blues, I found something very interesting. This German box set with 64 great recordings spread across 4 LPs. Used jazz vinyl also contains great stuff. Duke Ellington's Cosmic Scene from 1958 is a wonderful album. And here's their bulk of singles: Sylvia, Pillow Talk. Ah, those Hungarians. Now, on their used classical vinyl collection, I found a great recording of Schubert's Death and the Maiden Quartet, released by Hungaroton, which is the oldest record label in Hungary. Hungaroton's catalog is incredible. I also found here some very fine recordings of Denjo Ranki. I am probably mispronouncing his name. He is an amazing Hungarian pianist who recorded a lot with Hungaroton. Somehow his records are kinda rare in the West, but not here. I think this is the best recording of Kullervo by Johann Sibelius. I think this is the second recording ever, and for me, the best. But the thing that caught my eye was the drawer right next to it. One that reads Garage Trash Psychobilly. Yep, that's Tokyo Sex Destruction from Spain. Robert Gordon, this one from 1980. Mad Sin, can't get more psychobilly than that. They also have a chanson section dedicated to vocal. Yves Montand, Gilbert Bécaud, Edith Piaf, Jacques Brel, Liza Minnelli, Marlene Dietrich, Adriano Celentano, etc. The used vinyl soundtrack section contains some nice titles. I found here Colonel Radil from 1985. This film has a beautiful soundtrack I had forgotten. Oh, The Wiz, produced by Quincy Jones. Kinda forgotten today, I think, but a really stunning musical. This was Quincy Jones' first work with Michael Jackson, and the rest is history. Saturday Night Fever, Indian Pressing, and some John Carpenter. So overall, I think Wave Music is a great record shop. It's not big, but it has good albums. Their collection of contemporary Hungarian music is as good as it gets, and you can find something really interesting in every section. I had a great time here. And you should be here with me.